Hey guys, Zach here, coming at you with another video. So the same shirt, Zach Strikes Again, all in one day. I'm doing all this recording to get it done because I have so many videos I want to do, but no time to do them, so I'm doing them all right now. So I hope me being in the same shirt in like every single video isn't weirding you guys out at all. But today we're going to be talking about Luigi's Mansion 3. I said on my Discord that I was actually going to not do many Luigi's Mansion 3 videos anymore, and that's still kind of true. I want to do more content other than Luigi's Mansion, but nevertheless, it's just, you know, right now I'm actually at a point of kind of being concerned. Not concerned that the game isn't going to be good, but I'm concerned it's not going to be great. So obviously last week we had the Nintendo Direct that we got that 1 minute trailer of Luigi's Mansion 3. I don't know why it was only 1 minute. I think we need more. I get it. We've been seeing the game quite a bit recently, but we haven't seen a lot of the depths of the game. We've been seeing a lot of capturing the ghosts and the little puzzles and the portrait ghosts. We haven't been seeing like the in-depth stuff, like the poltergeist, like the virtual Boo, like the Boo capturing mechanics and more common ghosts and that kind of stuff. The more detailed stuff about this game, and that's one of the things that's kind of getting me concerned. I'm gonna go through a whole list of things that concern me about Luigi's Mansion 3. But before we do that, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. But guys, I really hope you guys are okay with less Luigi's Mansion 3 content. I know that's what my channel's kind of become known for, but when Luigi's Mansion 3 launches, I'm going to want to do other content. You know, there's not going to be many videos to make about Luigi's Mansion 3 after the game is out, after I do my review and all that. Excuse me. So, yeah, not much Luigi's Mansion content. I apologize. You know, I just want to do other things. There's so much other content I want to make. So I hope you guys are okay with that and all that. So yeah, so let's go into Luigi's Mansion 3, why it's starting to concern me a little bit.
ZakPak, he's always there for you. ZakPak, only on YouTube. ZakPak, what will he do next? ZakPak, let's find out, 'cause it's on with the show.
So in this trailer, like we got a glimpse of the dining hall scene again, and oh my god, like I've said this before, that's why I'm getting this first concern out of the way, because I've said it so many times, I've beat it to death, but oh my god, why is it so bright? It's just way too bright. The game, like I get it, you could probably turn on the brightness, something like that. I get you can do that, but at the same time, it just doesn't feel like Luigi's Mansion when the whole environment is just light and bright. And I don't want to see cheery, because it's not to the point of brightness where it's cheery, but it's definitely not spooky. It's definitely far from a point that's spooky. I actually took some screenshots. Remember a couple months ago, I did a video where I took screenshots of the original reveal trailer of Luigi's Mansion 3, and I made them darker and made them a little creepier. I'm doing that again with some of these screenshots, both from this trailer and a couple from the E3 trailer, and I'm going to try and make them darker so you guys can see my point. I'll show you one right now. I don't know which one I'm going to show you, but here you see the before image of, you know, whatever scene this is. You know, it's kind of light up, you know. Actually, I think I'm going to choose the pirate restaurant part in particular. You know, it's just kind of lit up cave. Luigi's just wandering in it with his flashlight on, which kind of bothers me. And then I lowered the brightness, and then, you know, you can see the eyes and the skull in the background kind of glowing a bit. Luigi's flashlight makes a little bit more of a difference. You can't see the ceiling, so it adds a little more atmosphere to the environment, and that's what I'm asking for. So many people are just like, oh, why do you want the game dark? It's not just because it's just doesn't feel like Halloween. The whole point of Luigi's Mansion is that it's Luigi being scared of his environment. He's in an unknown environment. He has his flashlight. He's looking around, and you just can't do that. It just doesn't blend in a lit up environment. You know, Luigi's flashlight. CC Media said it in one of his videos that it seems more like a little prop that Luigi has, his flashlight, rather than an actual essential tool that he needs. You know, it's just pointless. And I think the lighting really just blends into a good atmosphere, because people say, Zach, you gotta move on from the original Luigi's Mansion, but you gotta remember, this is a sequel to Luigi's Mansion. You don't want the sequel to drive so far from the original that it's just something that doesn't even resemble the original Luigi's Mansion. That's why the later Harry Potter movies, I was a bit like, because, like, they really got away from the magical aspect and moved into, like, drama and, you know, romance and that kind of stuff. So it really, like, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, yes, you gotta make changes and upgrades. Like, you know, the slam ability is awesome, the burst is awesome, you know, Luigi I'm starting to get used to a little bit, you know, so those kind of changes I'm liking, you know, like, that's cool. But it's just that the environments just don't feel spooky. You know, Luigi acts genuinely scared, but a lot of the environments just aren't dark enough to make it realistic, and I get it. It's not just the fact that there's darkness, there's also the fact that there's ghosts in the mansion. But then again, you know, you watch episodes of people, like, you know, shows where they're ghost hunting, whether it's real or not is irrelevant. They don't go in the middle of the day, or when, you know, they don't turn on the lights in the room and say, is there a ghost in here? No, all the lights are off, because that's when the ghosts mostly, you know, you can see a lot of the dust particles and all that. So that's why it's just so weird that lights are on when there's ghosts in the room. It's just one of those things. I know I spent a little bit of too much time rambling on this point, but it's one of those points I really wanted to explain, because so many people are just like, oh, just turn the brightness down, and why are you complaining about the lighting? It's a mood thing, and it takes you out of the immersion of the fact that Luigi's actually scared, in my personal opinion. The next kind of point I wanted to bring up, we saw 2 portrait ghosts in this trailer, and the one disco lady looked pretty cool. I kind of liked her design, you know, the big afro, the kind of standing behind the DJ booth. I like that. The shark, on the other hand, I'm not quite sure of. It's just like, it's like a shark. I mean, and before you say that there was a dog portrait ghost in the original Luigi's Mansion, it actually felt like a dog, and like the shark just doesn't feel like a shark. It feels like a human in a shark body. Like, you know, I don't know how to explain it. And obviously we just saw 2 seconds of it, so I could be completely misinterpreting this, but it just doesn't look that great in my opinion. And I didn't like the way it jumped in the boat and it gave the boat a face. It reminded me way too much of the Possessor Ghost from Luigi's Mansion 2. And, you know, again, we saw like 3 seconds of this. I could be way off on what this actually is, but it just reminded me of the... In fact, it reminded me of the Ice Boss Ghost, because it just felt like the same exact thing. The Possessor Ghost possessed the ice cracked and grew a face. You know, the ghost jumped in the ship broke apart and grew a face. Same exact thing, and I'm like, oh, I'm getting Dark Moon vibes from that, and I don't like it. I don't like that aspect. I mean, what if the boss ghost is Luigi fighting against the ship? Like, that feels like Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon territory. It doesn't feel clever. It doesn't feel unique. So I really hope that it's not as bad as it looks like, and that even gets me more concerned about the music section, where you see the picture of the piano with the face. Are we gonna fight a piano? Like, I guess Super Mario 64 fans will be happy, but like, that's no. Like, they were doing so well with the Gardener boss fight, with King McFright's boss fight, with Morty's boss fight. Those 3 were amazing. So why do these boss, you know, or I'll say particularly this one, why does this one not look as promising? Why does this one not look as great? I don't know. I'm kind of concerned about that, and, you know, I'm hoping that it's, like, at least if it's going to be a Possessor boss battle, there are hopefully not many of these. I really want more of those creative portrait ghost-like battles, like the Gardener with the plant, like King McFright with his suit of armor and the horse, like Morty and the Godzilla suit thing. Those were all clever and creative. That was just not. It did not look creative to me. I did not like it. I did not enjoy it. And, yeah, I just, did not rub me the right way. Next up, the return of the mummies. The mummies were one of my least favorite enemies from the original, or from Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. I hated them because, I mean, I'm in the mindset of the enemies should just be ghosts. You don't need to add mummies or zombies or anything like that, and I get it, it's gonna be the same as Dark Moon, a ghost in a mummy suit, ooh, but I don't know, I just did not like the mummies, especially with Dark Moon's stiff controls. Sometimes if you were faced with multiple mummies, it became pretty difficult, and I'm not into it. Like, and, you know, the funny thing is, in most games, the desert theme is usually my favorite overall theme, and even in this game it could work well, But I just didn't like the fact that mummies are returning. They should have had the common ghosts wearing mummy, outfits. It's that kind of stuff. I mean, they probably will do in the end, but yeah, just I didn't like it. And the amount of sand that there was, I wasn't a fan of that either. Like, I don't know, like, I just don't like huge, like, when the environments are just, like, filled with sand. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's the desert theme, so it makes sense, but I don't know. The one thing that does make me, like, look at this as not really a horrible thing is that, obviously, since, like, the mansion's all in segments, this would probably be the only time that we see the mummy and all the sand, so I'm not overly concerned about it. Like, I can live with it if it's just in that small section, but, yeah, the mummies, I hated them in Dark Moon, and I'm probably not going to like them here. So, there were a couple instances where we saw Luigi fighting the common ghosts, and every single one of them was blue. I've been saying this for a long time now. There needs to be more variety in the common ghosts, and we're getting to the point where it's like, did they compensate, like, the lack of common ghosts with the portrait ghosts? They can't do that. They can't just say, oh, we had these portrait ghosts, so now we're going to take away a lot of the common ghosts. No! You have to have both. You can't just take away fundamental parts of the game. Even though you brought one back, you're taking another one away. It's like, I don't want to just fight blue ghosts over and over and over again. Like if you played the original Luigi's Mansion, imagine if you just fought the orange ghost most of the time. You got the occasional purple puncher and the occasional twirler and the occasional grabber. Yep, no garbage can ghosts, none of them. No Shy Guy ghosts, none of them. None of the elemental ghosts, they're not there. So, like, where's the variety? Like, I can't imagine Luigi's Mansion 1 being just the orange ghost with, like, splatterings of the other ones. You need more variety in the common ghosts, man. It's just sad. Really, really sad that I don't know if they are compromising. Like, this is based on what we saw. And we've seen a lot of the game. Like, not a lot of the game, but a decent amount to the point where we should know kind of what the game's going to be about. So, if there's only going to be 4 different kinds of common ghosts, and we only mainly see one, it's not doing it for me. The last point I want to talk about is this Scream Park mode. Why does it exist? The Scare Scraper's one thing. The Scare Scraper, it's like Luigi's Mansion. You're fighting ghosts. You're building your way up to the top. You know what? Scare Scraper was one of the best additions they could have added to Dark Moon. That was the reason I went back to Dark Moon. The Scare Scraper. I'll admit it. The Scare Scraper was really the only thing that ever brought me back to Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. Yeah, because it was that good. I love the Scare Scraper. So happy they're bringing it back to the 3rd game. But this Scream Park mode, it just looks like Mario Party minigames, but with a Luigi's Mansion coat of paint. Why? It just doesn't need it. It doesn't need this extra mode. And apparently it also doesn't work with online, so you have to have people with you. So I don't see people playing this mode, personally. Maybe once or twice to play, to see what it's like, but I don't see people going back to it a lot. Scare Scraper, I do. Because that mode is genuinely replayable. You can play it all with friends. Scare Scraper is so much fun. But that didn't look like fun. If there were a couple mini games in Mario Party that were based around that, sure. Hell, even if it was those exact mini games, just like, everyone had a poltergeist and you had to shoot the plunger at the target things, whatever, that'd be cool. That'd be really, really cool. They should do more mini games like that in Mario Party. But not in Luigi's Mansion. Luigi's Mansion is about the story. It's always been about the story. Even in Dark Moon, it's about the story. It didn't have the most gripping story in the world, but, it was never a multiplayer-focused game. So now they have all these different game modes for multiplayer, and it's just... the only one that looks good is Scare Scraper. So, yeah, personally, doesn't interest me at all. I probably won't even be playing it. I probably won't even play it at all. Like, I'm not going to have any friends that's going to play that with me. You kidding me? Who's going to play that with me? No one. So I'm not even going to bother playing. I'm going to play Scare Scraper with you guys who are watching. Hi. But, I'm not playing that crap. So I'm going to bring up a couple other points here. Now, these aren't things that make me concerned about the game. These are just things that I'm not a big fan of, but they do not affect my judgment of the game. I just wanted to bring them up since this is a concerns about Luigi's Mansion 3 video. One thing I don't like, which I actually haven't mentioned before. I don't think I ever actually mentioned this point before. But one thing I loved about the original Luigi's Mansion is how claustrophobic the environments were, how small the hallways were, how cramped up the rooms felt at times. I just like that feeling. But with Luigi's Mansion 3, and to some extent 2, there were environments that are so big. The camera zoomed out really far, Luigi's far in the back, like, you know, he's like a little speck on the screen, and I don't know, just like, I don't like the wide open environment. I prefer the claustrophobic space, personally. It's just one of those things that's like, you're creeping around this old haunted mansion, you know, it's kind of one of those things. But, like I said, that's something I can get over. I really don't care that much, but it's just something I don't really like. And, Luigi. Luigi's one of those things where it's like, I would have much preferred the game without him, personally. I would have much preferred the game without Luigi, or just having him be the co-op option like in Luigi's Mansion for 3DS. You know, I would have much rather that over him being a forced gimmick that you have to use in the story, personally. Because it seems like the game was designed as a co-op game and single player separately. You know, so it's just one of those things that's like, that makes me scratch my head. Like, Luigi's Mansion has always been a single player experience. And I get it, you know, you want to add co-op, cool, but don't make co-op the main focus. Make co-op the added on thing, and not, you know, like, you know what I mean? I don't know, but that's just me. Let me know what you guys think about Luigi's Mansion 3 down in the comments down below. Keep in mind also, even though I do have a lot of concerns about the game now, I'm a little bit worried with some things, I'm still very excited for this game. I'm still pre-ordering it, getting it day one, doing a ZakPak if technology doesn't crap out on me, and yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Until next time, guys, I'll see you in the next video.